friends, and in today's session I would want to introduce a novel called 1984 by George Orwell. And why I want to introduce this novel is because it starts with a very different and unique kind of idiom which uses the clock striking 13. The first line of the novel by George Orwell starts with it was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13. Now this clock striking 13 has a lot of different connotations and meanings which I would like to discuss before I talk about the book. So the clock striking 13 is considered to be an aberration, an abnormality, an anomaly. Means it is like a mistake. So when you say the clocks were striking 13 or the clock was struck 13, basically it means that there's an error. So it becomes questionable. Anything before that the clock has reported becomes questionable. So the clock striking 13 basically means that everything before what has been reported or the time that has been given by the clock or something that has been said becomes of questionable value, becomes ambiguous, becomes wrong, so to say. So, and in this case, the author was saying that the clocks were striking 13. That means it was not an aberration in this sense. Means it was something which is a common thing, that the clocks were striking 13 in this novel. So George Orwell was anti-communism and socialism, and he was a person who supported capitalism. He was a very different kind of a writer. His work, although of fiction, is considered very philosophical and important in non-fiction also. So two of his famous works, one is Animal Farm and the other is 1984. And today I discuss the first few lines of 1984. I hope you enjoy it, and it might prompt you to actually read it also. So as the lines say, it was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13, as if striking 13 was a norm, as if it was a trend. So then we come to a conclusion that the whole thing about the book might be something totally different which we don't expect. And then it says, Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the wild wind. Now his chin is nuzzled into his chest or his breast, meaning he's trying to hide his face from the wild wind. V-I-L-E, wild wind means the evil wind. It was a very cold windy day and he's trying to escape the wind which is very monstrous. So to escape the wild wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions. Now Victory Mansions of course is a place, but what it signifies in this novel you will have to read it and find out. So he rushed through the glass doors of Victory Mansion, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. So he could not get inside fast enough, and a swirl means this movement, the air that was moving. Together with it, the dust was also moving in the air. That also entered the building. And the hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of its colored poster, too large for indoors, a display had been tacked to a wall. It depicted simply an enormous face, more than a meter wide. So on one wall, there was a face which was there on the wall. It was a meter, so almost more than a meter wide. The face was there on the wall. And so then we come to know that okay, this person was of 45 with a heavy black moustache and ruggedly handsome features. Winston made for the stairs. It was no use trying the lift. Even at the best of its times, it was seldom working. So then on each landing opposite to the lift shaft, so he was climbing the stairs, and on each landing opposite to the shaft of the lift, there was something which was there. And what was it? It was one of those pictures which was so contrived that the eyes follow you when you move. So there was this picture of that same man on each shaft of on each landing of the staircase. And then it said, "Big Brother is watching you." The caption beneath it ran. So beneath each of the photographs, which were huge and 1 meter wide, it was written that Big Brother is watching you. And now if I have tweaked enough interest, if I piqued enough interest in your mind, do read the book 1984 by George Orwell. So that was from me, and looking forward to getting all the comments from you, whether you enjoyed this series or not. Thank you very much.